Hello and welcome back to another of our design tutorials. This one is for your biomimicry lamp. We're going to start off with a warm-up. Okay, those of you who play sport, do PE in school, play for any teams outside of school, do dance, anything like that, you won't do any form of that activity without doing a proper warm-up, okay, because any of the sports, any of the dances, any gymnastics, it is a physical activity, and drawing is a physical activity too. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do, we are going to focus on straight lines, and we are going to focus on our line weight. Okay, so just to set up, I'm just going to put a pair of dots, maybe starting off about 2 centimeters apart down my page. Okay, and what we're going to do is, this is a tip now as to how to get a really successful straight line. What you do, you put your pen at the start point and you look to the end point of your line. Don't look here, that will get you a wonky line because you don't know where it's going to go. Look to where you want the line to go, which is that end dot. We're going to connect the dots, and just trust that your body will join it up with a straight-ish line, and it works. Okay, it's a really good technique, and I want you to be using a fair amount of pressure on your pen at this point, or your pencil if you are using a pencil. Don't forget to turn your page to suit you to a suitable angle. Okay, you've just watched a video where the designer, he did his he turned his to an appropriate angle, or if you haven't watched it yet, you will be. You'll see him turning his page. So these lines should have a heavy line weight with lots of pressure. What we're going to do now is to go in between the lines with light pressure. And these lines should be kind of barely there. Okay, and if we were actually designing, these would be our guidelines. Okay, and if you've done that, then I want you to have a go at doing some more, and this time alternate between light and heavy lines. We're looking for control. Okay, once you've done that, your next one, okay, and this will be familiar to lots of you, I want to draw 6 cubes in the remaining space. So in the remaining space, we're going to do 6 cubes, and the way to think about this, if you've been taught by me, you'll know this. So we do our bird's foot, we turn it into a book, and then we turn it into a box. Okay, and I want these lines, these boxes, I want you to be using your lightest pencil or pen pressure. Doesn't matter if they overlap, but what you should be focusing on is relatively straight lines and light pen pressure, and trying to keep these lines parallel. So 6 boxes. Bird's foot, book, and box. And again, bird's foot, book, and box. Once you've got your boxes, okay, I want you to go back over them just using a heavier line weight, or in fact just go back over 3 of them with a heavier line weight, just making sure that you have got, trying to keep those lines parallel. This is where you could correct some of those lines. Okay, there we go. Now time to turn your page over, and we're going to focus on some curvy lines now. So I'm going to put 3 dots on my page, quite well spaced out, and I'm going to remember to keep my wrists still. I'm going to remember to keep my fingers still and allow my whole arm to control the movement. So with that in mind, we are going to do a nice squiggle like this, and we're going to rotate it round. So we're going to end up drawing a really nice sort of flower shape, I guess, with lots and lots of squiggles. So this is our macro movement, this is our large scale movement. I want us to now focus on a micro movement now, a really small movement. Okay, just come in and on the inside of each one just have a go at this. And you'll notice if you let your concentration lapse, or if you forget and you suddenly start to allow your wrist and your hand to take over, your fingers to take over, you'll actually end up, instead of getting smooth curves, you will actually end up getting some spiky bits, some straighter angles on there. And that's not what we want. We want this nice smooth curve, and you will get the smoothest curves when you're allowing your arm to do the movement and not your fingers. So there's the macro, here's the micro. Doesn't matter if they overlap, it's the technique of getting the curves that we want. Just about thinking nice fluid way, ready for our main design activity. Okay, once you've done that, that should be enough. You can practice it. You can do this as many times as you need to feel comfortable. But for now, pause or stop the video, return to your lesson. Your teacher will give you some more instructions. Okay, so now we are back into our lesson, and you will have seen the Product Designer Maker, that's the name of the YouTube channel, produce a range of sketches for design ideas looking something similar to this. Okay, and here you can see just the incremental changes that have happened to this design. So I've set up my page with some really faint grid lines. You can do the same to start off with, or you can do it as you go along, just like he did. So I don't mind whichever suits you. So to start off with, I'm going to do my lamp. Okay, now I'm thinking, those of you that know me will know that I really like chilies. Okay, I grow them. If you're really interested, I have grown in the past, not growing this year, but I have grown in the past the ghost chili, which is probably a really silly idea, but it's actually really quite tasty, but it's very hot. Okay, so I was thinking, as part of my design, actually, what if I was to, how could I introduce chili into my design? So rather than thinking, right, actually, why don't I draw a lamp in the shape of a chili, what I thought I would do was actually think, right, actually, chilies are hot, they're spicy, they give off heat, and we think of fiery stuff with chilies. So what if I added a secondary function to my lamp, whereby it actually gives out heat? So actually we could use it as a heater in the room, as well as a decorative sort of function, decorative feature in the room as well. So just like in the video that you saw, I'm just starting to play around with the shapes. Okay, just very simply, just changing one little thing at a time, just adding trying little things, just seeing how well I can get something. I've got a timer set, and I'm checking in on my timer, so that actually, like the product designer maker, I'm moving on. I'm managing to get through these quite quickly. Working with some quite light touches, okay, but I'm just building up the line weight as I go through, okay. So here we go. Now that's looking a little bit more mushroomy maybe, but you get the idea as to where these, you can see the development as we go along. Now it's up to you if you want to come back down here and start a new one. So you could, so on this one I went all the way across the top, and then I came across I started new designs on each one, okay. And that is entirely up to you if you want to do a row of, you know, developing 3 different designs, or if you just want to take this one down here and carry on developing the same idea. That is absolutely fine. The other thing you can do, and I've set up my page already just for ease of sketching and drawing, but to, just like in the video, I've got my boxes, so I'm going to have a go at doing some of these in 3 dimensions. Okay, so I'm going to start to think about maybe having starting to develop some shape in 3D, and just starting to just being nice and fluid with my lines. Once I've got my my lines that I'm happy with, then I might then I would add my line weight, and I might actually just add maybe just a couple of contour lines just to sort of indicate the 3D-ness of it. I'll have a go at another one. Maybe do a square based one. Working faintly to start off with. Doesn't matter if I go outside the boxes, they're just there to guide me. And I'm starting to get this 3-dimensional shape. So the question we need to ask ourselves, are these the neatest sketches? No, they're not. Have I got all my lines absolutely perfect? Are they within the boxes? No, they're not. But what they are is they are notes. They're a form of notes, okay? They're my ideas, my thoughts on a page, okay? They're not perfect works of art. That's not what we're going for, and hopefully you've picked that up from the video as well with the product designer maker. But good luck, guys. Remember all those lessons, okay? It's not a work of art, it's notes, it's your ideas. So this is now the end of the video. It's now your turn to design, enjoy and have fun. Off you go.